Finish me off. Just use the flames.
No, I would not attack you with a sword.
That sound we heard, was that from outside or you said downstairs?
That was downstairs.
Okay.
I want to look out the window and see if I can see anything on the beach making a way towards our vessel.
You see a shadowed indent in the ground at the end of the row of footprints, about 4 feet shy of the ship, of the boat.
Boy, howdy, it seems like someone's trying to pirate the pirates. No, requisition our vessel out there.
As you're standing there looking out, you hear the blast of a horn, like a more like a
Foghorn?
like a foghorn, like a ship's call.
Okay.
And out of the mist rolls a low, flat-bottom vessel. It's got paddle wheels on the left and the right side.
Steamboat.
And black smoke billowing from the back. These 2 large stacks on the back of the vessel.
Boy, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Dwarves.
The vessel makes although you're hearing the splash of the paddle wheels, you are hearing no sound of the engine, anything, as this thing comes drifting towards the coastline. And although it's big, it's as big as the Withany estate as far as ship size is concerned. It's low. It's got a lower draft, so it gets much closer to the shoreline. And when it gets that far, it puts out long poles down into the water, and the crewmen are human size, but are pretty well proportioned as far as their physical stature. These guys actually use these poles to move the vessel this close to shore, and so they're actually pushing it even closer to the shoreline.
Like bargemen
Right.
Use poling to
Yes.
get a keelboats.
I like to see when a man knows the way around a pole.
Hashtag wondrous rod. See them on
Wednesday.
On Fridays.
Let's check out the rest of these boxes that are here.
Wondrous rod is actually a Tuesday campaign.
Oh, okay.
But I meant your reference to.
Yeah.
You know your way around the pole
glim.
now.
Wonderful glim.
Okay, so that is magical.
When you look out, you do recognize the.
Well, I said I was
what's
making
that?
my way down. I said I was making my way down.
Oh, that's right. You're over by the doorway.
So-
Never mind. You're not looking out there.
So I'm trying to get down from the attic now to.
Okay. So
Follow.
he's climbed down.
Make my way
Show
out
the
there.
ones that are the things that are magical, and let's collect what we can. And I think this is an abortive thing, but we do have a few more places to check, so we can just gather this stuff and then we can take it with us when we leave.
Okay. So you have the lantern, sword.
My sword, and whatever box. Let's look inside the boxes.
The one box that showed as magical had the other 9 swords in it.
Okay, so we'll take those swords with us.
Taking 10 swords.
We'll take one
10
sword.
long swords.
Wait, you have a sword. We'll just take your sword. And
Do you know it's worth money?
I don't think we could carry all these swords.
I thought
You
your character
could.
didn't have a
Yeah.
concept of money.
I am learning the concept.
You don't realize how many baths and breads I can buy with this.
Yeah, no, the bowls of stew and bread. I mean, it costs
And
money.
baths.
And baths. And they all cost
We're
money.
building a bathhouse. That's gonna be
Is
free
there like
for
a
you.
sack or something I can
I
put
can't
the
go
swords
back
in?
there.
No, great.
I can't
Right.
go back there as long as the red.
I can't
The
go
red
back,
is
guys.
They're
Everything
already
great.
in the little carrier.
Yeah.
I mean, it's built for carrying 10 swords in it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
So
carry
it's a
10
weapons
swords.
rack kind of on the inside.
Yeah, see, 10 swords. The box probably weighs close to
What you'll do
120
is
pounds.
take all the swords out and
Well,
then take some
I
strips
think
of
long
cloth
swords
and
are
bind them
either
up.
8 or 10.
So you're gonna tear up the dresses.
Huh?
You're gonna tear up all the dresses.
Well, as much as she needs to make a a strong, like, twisted cord of cloth strip.
Yes,
and
it'll
just-
take you a good half an hour
Yeah.
to do that.
Okay,
I-
I'll do it.
You want to stay here for half an hour? As
No.
the ship just
Yeah,
is
I was
docking?
gonna say.
I find it funny. It would take longer to make that and then get down than it would to just walk out.
Or just grab the crate and carry it. It
True.
take two of you to carry it, basically. One at the front, one at the back.
I'll help carry. Bring
Okay,
up the
so
rear
you're still
crate.
here. Okay.
It's a case of magic swords. I mean, holy crap. You don't realize how rare magic is. It's
Well, we could
Too
come
bad you
back
don't
for
have
him.
Tensor's floating disc.
I think life is more important than
Well, it's
swords
up
at
to
this
like
moment.
500 pounds.
Well, at this point, we have nobody.
We don't know who's on this new boat that's just showed up.
right, and even though you were climbing down, you heard the blast of the horn, and that's a ship's call to one another to. So it's basically one ship was hailing your ship.
Let us
So I
know.
start
We'll
making my way
teach you how
out.
to use a sword, won't you?
It would take more time
Of
to
course.
climb up and look out the window and then.
No,
go
no,
down
I agree,
to
but
just
but
go
anyway.
down.
So
As I'm helping Lucius carry
Basic,
the sword box
descend,
out, I want to
okay,
say,
stick it.
And poke.
What you want exactly?
hey Lucius, maybe we shouldn't bring this box of swords out to this people who just arrived. They're gonna think we're stealing their loot. Maybe we should just hide it off to the side and come back for it later.
I agree.
totally a pirate thing to do. Let's bury it someplace.
Bury it and
We'll get these dresses.
make a map.
Huh. Documentary goes, "What's in the box?" Really big letters. It's a box full of swords marked 82nd or 82 ND Cav.
Navy cavalry. NV.
ND.
And
ND, like 82nd.
right,
Motor division or mounted
Cav.
cavalry.
Yeah, just Cav. And they've determined that the swords are magical. There's a bag he's carrying that's also magical. They've asked him twice about it, but he hasn't responded to explain to them what that is. What else was magical? The lantern
Swords, the lantern. We're taking that with
and the
us.
window
And the
Oh,
cutlass
no.
that he has.
and the
And the
cutlass.
cutlass.
Lots of magic, just more magic than any of you. Okay, the bread equation. This is more magic than you've ever heard of, let alone.
One of these weapons is going to be more bread than your gold coins.
It's true. That's true. Still funny that she put it on all caps. What's in the box? So,
That movie.
So we'll head back down.
okay.
Yeah.
So you're carrying the box and heading down. You're going to
We'll stash the box someplace.
Yeah.
you're gonna stash the box in the kitchen, in the garden.
You'll never look in the garden.
In that,
Of course, you put it in
that
the
fresh
kitchen where
dirt
that
pile.
stuff is.
Well, there's that ugly kitchen, that terrible
There's
kitchen.
a broom closet.
I'm gonna hide it under the moss in the
The broom closet where you hid the ghost. I mean, the young lady.
kitchen.
That's occupied right now.
She could protect it for 5 minutes.
I don't think so.
Put the light out.
Anyway, okay, you figure a good place to hide it that it just is not noticeable. I would say.
Because remember, to get back down to your boat, you gotta go out the front door and walk all the way around. So
Mm-hmm.
you're just gonna hide in some bushes on the way up and hope nobody notices.
Yeah. And if we have to add some extra bushes, they won't show death.
I think the
that way.
kitchen is like no one's gonna search the kitchen. That the kitchen's disgusting.
What we could do is put it under
But the
table.
material there eats stuff. Didn't we determine that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Might eat our box for magic swords.
We won't eat magic swords, will it?
No,
Maybe.
but I don't want to have to.
Surely not.
Definitely.
John wouldn't let that happen. Wink, wink.
What about the
What?
What about the outhouse?
Drop them down the hole. No one's gonna search through that.
Might be hard to retrieve if we do
Or the
that.
well. There was a well.
There is a well. In the
Well, there
garden.
was a well.
There's a well in the garden.
That's true.
But we
I
don't
remember
know.
that.
Does anybody have a rope where we could tie the rope to it and put it down?
There's a rope at the well. Don't know how old it is.
And we don't know how old it is.
Throw the box of swords down the well. Let's do it.
I
Lower
agree.
the box down.
Who's going to use whose rope are you going to use to?
No guarantee actually you can fit the
Unfortunately,
box
I
down
have
the well.
nothing.
You might have to actually just dump the swords.
No, there's space. It's good.
I
space.
don't have any rope.
I left.
You don't have an adventurous
I
pack?
left.
No.
Well, you're leading the walk out. You're
Oh.
not gonna.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'd have to be facing this stuff alone. I don't want that to be the case.
Okay. I wasn't sure how fast they caught up with me.
They were in the process of trying to come down. They were just arguing about whether or not they were taking the box.
Okay.
So
Do you have rope, Karen?
If there was a
Let's see.
bench
Tools.
that we could put
bearings.
under and
No,
then
no
bring it
rope.
with a claw.
We'll just leave it in the garden, cover it up.
Under a
Where-
pile of leaves.
Sure.
Nice.
We don't have time. We have
well,
to
if
find
anybody
out.
did have a piece of rope, it wouldn't take much to tie the handles of the swords
Yeah.
to the rope and then just dangle the rope down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one
Now,
has rope.
they'll bump into each other and make a bit of a clattering noise at first. But once they're suspended down there, all you'd have to worry about is whether or not they'd notice it was new rope compared to old rope.
Oh, I have rope.
Oh, there you go.
I'll
Yeah.
go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with you all working on it, you can get it tied up pretty quickly. Dangle the swords down the rope.
Throw 'em down.
Maybe we might be able to wedge the rope in somewhere just beyond the lip of the well.
Who's going to
By
hang?
the
Who's
loose-
going to hang upside down inside the well to find a place to do that?
In other words, instead of having the rope come over the edge of the well, find a place to.
I'm saying,
With
who
the-
wants to climb
Yeah,
up? Who wants
in
to
order
hang
do
over?
that, you
Uh,
have to have
No, no,
someone
no.
go in.
What about that piton and a hammer? Driving the piton.
Now you're driving a piton into stone outside.
King,
In a tunnel, in a well, which is like a tube, so it'll make a lot of echoing sound as
It
well.
make a lot of echoing, and
And I
it
can't
could
silence
induce
it.
crumbling.
Okay.
So you tied it off, and it's on the. You've got the swords now protected.
I'll turn
Okay.
after Kurt and say, "Hey, let's head on down and see who this land
He's-
party."
Can I
is."
inspect the old
You're
rope?
still thinking about the fact that he's got a bag that he has not yet clamped.
Yeah. Which we'll have to take care of later. It's not important now.
No, it's only that you're just hid magical items, and he's got a whole bunch of magic
You
in a
want to
bag.
hang your bag on there?
No.
If somebody has detect magic, we'll see it.
Congratulations for them.
You're willing to run that risk with our safety? All right, we'll see how it is. Fine. Hope you don't mind us.
I
returning
assume
the
that if
favor.
someone casts detect magic, you'd register very brightly.
Well, I mean,
Why?
Do we want to risk
That's
you?
not. You know,
No joke.
Why?
he's bluffing because he doesn't
No,
know how
I-
magic works.
Yes, Kurt has no magic knowledge.
Okay, so
Magicians don't register as magic unless.
out. No sooner than you got that finished, and you walk out the front of the house. But who should be walking up the road towards you, in a brilliant blue, bibbed shirt, the sailor's bib shirt with the buttons on the outside.
Yeah.
Big flowing sleeves, yellow sash, tawny trousers down to the knee, black socks, and fine black boots.
Napoleon.
Richard, the person you were supposed to meet.
Ah.
Arrived before me this time, did you?
Yes, Richard. We thought we'd clean up the place, make it a little more presentable. We spent hours making it look dark and dour for you. No one will disturb us.
He chuckles. He says, "Well, that's why we choose to use this place for our meetings. However, we don't normally come all the way up here. What possessed you to come up to the house? Normally, we take care of the stuff right down at the shoreline."
You're-
I know
Less
this is a-
prying eyes in a darkened room.
Besides that, his father said nothing about it, so we figured that was the place.
I see. You let women talk for you all the time?
I don't let her, she just does.
So, we're here to make an agreement, I understand.
Yes, but please come inside. It's dreadfully cold out.
Oh, no, we don't go in there. There's curses on the place.
But you're gonna put all our hard work to waste.
No, I insist. Let's do the business out here.
All right. What business do we have to bring? What do you bring to this
I thought
meeting?
you called for the meeting.
I'm actually having a hard time remembering.
You think you are? Had something to do with your dad's business and your dealings with the Pride Waters.
Pride Waters. Trying to remember.
I think he's at a loss.
I'm trying to remember because
He just said meet the representative up here. As far as I knew.
Oh, yes, it was the conversation about your friend. She's from someplace else?
yes, we found her in a hole in the ground.
Yeah. Okay, I don't want to know how you met her. I don't know about that part. But we have reason to believe she might be of great use to the Sea Princes.
How so?
She's a harbinger, is she not?
I
I don't know what she brings.
myself here to do what I can by my choice. I already have been given a task.
Well, we'd heard that the Red King tried to press you into his services.
They seem rather insistent that I be taken to the Red King, but I have chosen that is not my path.
Well, good. In that case, we are here to petition that you avail yourself of an opportunity to join the Seven Princes in regaining the proper control of this region.
I am not here for the seventh princess. I had someone to pray that I be here, and I was sent here because of her prayers. That is my first task. It has been complicated by the Reds, but only that.
Well,
I do not know your seven princes. I am not knowledgeable enough to know.
well, your group was so kind to do work for Gellin Pridewater that we thought for certain you were sympathetic to the traditionalist cause.
I was not part of the group when they made their deal with Gellin. I have just,
Yes, they said that they found you along the way in a hole in the ground.
no, I wouldn't call it a hole. A depression.
The semantics of whether or not it's a hole in the ground, a ditch, or a mud.
You know, I don't care where your personality was. If you were in a depression, I'd feel really bad for
It's
you.
more of a wallow at the time. It's really a hole.
Yeah, I was gonna wallow.
Yes, it so has to be.
Well, I don't want her
specified.
wallowing in a depression. So,
Why would your father tell these people that I would be with them?
You're asking me why my
you
father.
answered a prayer of a woman who was a traditionalist, right?
Yes.
She needs help.
Right. And her help is to accomplish her objective, which is to stop the incursion of the royalists.
She needs help to stop the incursion upon her ships that disappear from her docks.
So you're a diviner, or are you a spy? Who knows where the ships are?
I'm here to help her. She prayed for help.
And I'm offering you a way to do that.
How would you help me if I'm off somewhere on the sea when her ships are being taken from Silk?
Who said anything about taking you to sea?
It's simply an offer to be associated with.
He's asking
a
whether
clear
or not
faction.
whether you are going to clearly join the traditionalist faction to fight against the incursion of the Royalists.
Which is believed to be where the ship's thievery is coming from. It's just an offer for an alignment with a particular power.
If my duties lay upon a line...
Well, actually, I hate to tell you, dearie, but I wasn't here asking you. I'm asking you. Dobro's vessel, are you operating in support of our move to reestablish the Sea Princess?
The saddle does ride hopefully with your support. Unfortunately, the Withany estate is currently occupied by some red royalty.
Okay. Do you wish to have them removed?
Removed, dislocated somewhere else. Perhaps there could be a issue that their urgent attention is needed elsewhere.
We don't play with the petty politics. We're men of action.
Yes.
So I'm asking for your declared support for the Traditionalist Party.
Yes.
Excellent. And Lucius, I assume that you're on board as you've already done several jobs for Galen in the past?
I'll follow Kern's way.
Appropriate since he is your captain. That makes perfect sense. And who is this new person?
Howdy, stranger. Bernie Firecrouch. Nice to meet you.
We don't know if that's his original name or if it's a pseudonym.
I don't remember.
What?
What's the pseudonym?
A pseudonym?
Is he calling him a name? What is he-
He said. That's what you said earlier.
But,
You don't serve the king, do you?
I'm a man who knows which ways the wind's blowing, and I can see right now it'd behoove me to go with the traditional.
You'll want to keep an eye on that one. He talks too much.
And he has a bit of an issue with, I may not trouble you with his issues with the other sexes.
Well, since you have the saddle and you are here now, I have one small mission we'd like to commission you for. It will pay to the sum of 1,000 gold pieces
I see.
for you to run a patrol from here north along the coast and try to locate where the Saprozin raiders are operating from.
The Saprozin Raiders?
Who or
Can I
what are
make a
they?
history check to see if I know those?
Sure.
Okay. History, that is a 16.
Yes, the Sapraza are a race of aquatic creatures that prefer to utilize surface-made tools, so they tend to raid vessels and steal ships and stuff, but they plunder them and take it down beneath the waves.
They sink ships.
They sink ships.
Perhaps they have loose lips.
Well, they are fish.
Fish?
All right, Rashad. Once we locate these,
They kind of look like that.
I get it.
Okay.
Sapozan.
Once we locate these Sapersa, you want us to return with their location information? Or
Yes, and with any booty that you capture, of course, will be yours. In particular, we are looking for a lost shipment, including 4 crates of golden arrows.
You don't
How many
say.
arrows in total?
I think it's 600 in each box.
Oh, interesting.
That's
No.
for-
How many was in the
He said
case?
600.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a strange coincidence.
Very strange coincidence.
When we were cleaning the attic upstairs, we found a crate of 500.
Oh, so yeah, your search won't take you long. I guess you'll be able to start here. We're agreed then.
Yes, we're agreed.
Those when you find the cases, we want the cases and the coin and the arrows.
If you give us some time, we can just fetch them. They're up in the attic right now.
We'll send we'll send somebody with you to bring them back down. But my point is though, your search for the Sapperslaw might just start here on the island.
Yes.
Because if that case is here, the other
Seems
three
strange
might
that
be
they put
nearby.
it in.
Yeah, they wouldn't just leave them laying around.
Of course.
It also suggests that they might be actually aligning with somebody from the surface world.
Don't look at us. Just because they're in the Withany Estate Mansion does not mean we are working with the Sappers.
This is not
Not
my
his
house.
house. No,
Okay,
no.
at that point, if this is my home, I would have the noble background. Because apparently I have too many properties.
All right, so that will be the course of the mission then, if you wish to accept it, and payment will be made at the docks in Selk once you've completed the mission. There's the phone we were expecting.
We have yet to agree to the terms, but your men already believe that it is
Hello?
cause for rejoicing.
Yeah, I am at a
Yeah,
game.
that sounds
Okay, why don't you call me when you get back home?
Sounds
I want to
reasonable.
talk to you about
good way to make
We
a
accept.
thousand gold
said
piece.
about.
All right,
We accept
Yeah.
it.
Greedy
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
1,000 gold.
Bye-bye.
That's,
Could use
600
1,000
arrows.
gold, right?
Hit 600.
that's like 20 ships there.
1,000? No.
No.
It's
A
like
ship.
it's like 3 sets of plate mail armor. Something like
Okay.
that. Something's close. It's a lot. It's 1 spyglass.
more important, 600 arrowheads that you know are magical,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
but he hasn't specified he hasn't. So
No. It's a crate of 500.
I know.
Unfortunately, we
don't
don't know what they did with the other 100.
It's a mystery.
Very.
And we can certainly search for them.
Yeah,
Well, yes, we're
we
gonna
should
have to
start
search for
searching,
those.
yeah.
We're gonna have to search for those fish people. Who
They
knows? They could
probably
be
still
armed
have
to the
them.
teeth with 100
Armed to the
magical
teeth.
with 100 magical arrowheads.
Why would somebody use
So-
gold for an arrowhead? It's so soft.
Maybe it's magical.
Magical soft.
What was it? Retrieve 3 crates?
No, just 6.
Or just
it was supposed to be see
6.
if we could
There
find.
were four crates that were missing.
Mm-hmm.
Each one carrying 600 arrow tips.
I see.
So we have part of a crate of 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
And
we
then
still need to
so
find
we
the
have
other
3 more crates.
From what we know, there's a full crate up there.
From what we know, yeah.
And
500.
look, she's trying to avoid that right
Well, we
now.
don't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is.
Except that you have to realize that you're not a fool. Matter of fact, you make a wisdom save right now because you should be able to put that 2 plus 2 together pretty damn quick.
Yeah. 9?
9.
Guess not.
Nope.
I'm trusting you.
Yeah, but the point is,
Kern's
Mir-
trustworthy guy.
can I?
I've worked with you.
Have I lied to you ever?
Yes.
From this, do not know. Okay.
He's avoided talking about it twice. Or responding to
But
it.
anyway, so they then power off in their craft, and you notice that
Do
as
they
it
collect the 1 crate we were talking about?
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
again, I'm moving past that. I'm assuming that you did bring them
Yes.
down the case.
I just wanted to make sure because reasons.
And
Do a sweep of that place before we
what's
leave.
interesting is that when the vessel leaves, as it turns and leaves, remember it's been completely silent the whole
Yeah.
time it moved. When it turns away and starts to go, the sound is all funneled out through the back, and that's actually part of its motive force. It's actually pushing on the surface of the water. Basically, they've cast Thunder Wave on the paddles
To push
to push, and so
themselves
it's going
forward.
boom, 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 hugely loud, but it's all focused into the water. So it's
They just leave a trail of fish that are deaf behind them.
floating because the concussions under the water causes.
They're stunned, yeah.
Yeah.
Just stunt fish.
Poor fish.
Think of it. They put it in
Those-
reverse. They
those
collect
poor
fish. Just
Those
Yeah.
lucky souls, they've got a woman on board now.
I'm gonna get redressed in the clothes that I borrowed.
Because we met up with them and immediately forgot about green dress.
I think green dress is still in the closet.
Gingham.
I did that.
It's-
White and green check.
green and white checks. Yeah.
Little checks, the green goes and the white goes, and then where they mix, there's a kind of a soft green,
Yep.
then a dark green, and then a white. Goodness.
So, perhaps we should investigate on the other side of this, it's an island, right?
Yeah.
It's an island. The only primary structure on it is the hotel.
Yes, but perhaps the backside has, things we haven't seen yet.
Fish people that.
Well, you haven't seen the inside of most of the rooms either. You know, we basically bored straight through and then went straight up.
Yep.
So there's a lot of the building that's still not been searched, as
Of
well
course.
as. But you go out you go out and down the more dangerous foreboding side of the island, or whatever you want to do.
Go ahead and pick up those swords and pull them out of the well and start putting them on the boat.
Okay. So you're gonna.
Well,
Stow them on our dinghy.
So I'll put them on the dinghy.
Alrighty.
You should go back to your father and talk to him about the mission.
About the
It's gonna be
contact
his
successfully.
boat on the patrol, correct?
Oh,
And
there's that.
We'll go back to the island or search around and then
Yes, we'll search first and then we'll go relay.
agree,
All right.
Captain.
Hunting party.
So you're doing the outside island search, or are you going back into the hotel?
I'm a fair captain. What say you, crew? Should we investigate the mansion first, or should we patrol the exterior of the island to make sure there's no unwanted guests?
The house is unholy. I
I assume there
think
might be
we
a
should-
hole or two in it, but
it's a gun draft, I'll tell you.
my
It
suggestion
seems
is burn
strange
the
that
house
they would
down and we can
those
search the
items
rubble.
upstairs, and if they wanted to save them, why wouldn't they have taken all upstairs to the attic to hide them? So, where would they keep the other 3 boxes if they truly came to this island? It might not have even been brought to this island.
we do not know for sure. That's why we investigate.
Since I'm out of spells for right now, I just as soon examine the outside. Maybe we can find a sea cave or something like that, and they've been tucked away. A cave, a hole.
Because it would be foolish to put all the crates in the house.
Of course. But perhaps one of the other rooms has
And then another day I'll get spells back.
something within.
Because all I have is cantrips available to me.
Burn the house
More than
down.
enough.
But don't get hurt.
What say you? Burn.
Bernie thinks it's a good idea to explore the island, see if we can pick up on any underground caves where the rest of this treasure might be at.
And the other thing is maybe see where there might be tracks or a place
go
where
with
a
that.
boat was landed that brought this stuff here.
So it looks like we're going to go with the
You're the
checking the
tracker.
perimeter of the island.
Alrighty, so crossing wet and sandy terrain, we'll need 3 deck saves to make it down to the cove.
Oh, decks, of course, decks. 13.
2 19s and a 21.
Well, it makes sense. He's a freaking sailor.
I'm a rogue.
He used to run around on surfaces that are wet and sandy all the time.
Yep.
Serious.
That was an 18.
Seeing as how I'm leading the charge, can I possibly
That was a 4.
help them at all to
And that was a 5. Oh, I'm
proper
doing
footing
wonderful.
and whatnot to give them a lower DC?
17, 4, and 5.
Pick a path.
17, 4, and 5.
Well, you know,
Well, each
step
so
here
each
and
of
you
the
won't slip.
each of them represents a separate instance on the way down the mountain. That's usually why it's multiple rolls for each one of you.
Mhm.
Make all the rolls, no problem. If it's 14s and above, so it's only rolls under 14 that matter. Anybody other than Tiara fail?
2.
11 and 12.
Okay, so each of you, when you fail, you take 4 points of damage.
Oh
Each
my
time.
god.
I think.
Yes, that'd be 8
Did you-
points.
I'm down.
Yes.
These rocks are slippery. Ah!
Okay. Hit your head. Now, because you've got party members that are close enough, it won't put any of you into death saves. Somebody's be able to.
I only have one
So
heal. I
if you
only
hit
have
0 or
one
are they
more
just knocked
heal,
out?
which is that automatic Azamar heal.
All right. So you're gonna have to use it on him because
Oh
he's.
yeah, I'll use it on
How
him.
many hit
So you
points
got
you have
one
left?
1.
10.
So you're at 1
Count.
point.
How many
I
hit points
only
you
have 1 point left.
Yeah. So you guys are boogered up badly by the time you make it down to the cove.
These rocks are so slippery and dangerous, you guys. Ow, ow, ow.
Perhaps we can use a rope.
Sitting on the shore is a black throne-like chair. Red and gold etchings are made into the stone, creating rune-like forms on the front and the back. Seated in the chair is a decrepit, decaying skeleton, basically. It has some sinew holding bone structure together, but other than that, it looks almost completely stripped bare.
The seagull's
There's
vicious.
a black pointed hat on its head. The hat folded in 2 places, so it hangs over to the right shoulder. There is a red fringe connected across the rim of the black hat, and the cloth is of a deep black brocade.
And the cloth is hung together.
There's the what?
The cloth is hung together.
The bones are hung together by sinew.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the cloth is still evidently whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it must have magic on it.
Or perhaps whatever did this to it
Furthermore,
doesn't do anything to clothes.
what little skin is on the person's chin still holds whiskers. So there's a wispy beard down the front of this skeletal form.
Caught in the sea breeze.
Yeah, because you would have figured that wind and rain would sweep
As-
away the hat.
But we have no idea how long this has been here.
Guys, it's a wizard of the coast.
Nice.
I'll give you a point on
VP
that.
for that one.
I'll give you that.
Worse than that, it turns its head at your approach and says, "Secrets found and lost, found again." Your paltry minds cannot possibly fathom what is to come.
What this?
The skeleton's saying this.
Yeah, but what was the last word? What this?
Come.
Slowly reaching for
But
my
Your
holy
paltry
water.
minds cannot possibly fathom what is to come.
What is to come? Enlighten us, O wise one.
Let's see.
Crossbow slowly being pulled out.
Slowly.
That might be wise.
Nothing
Holy
strange about
water.
that,
Whatever left I have.
That's hysterical.
Uh-oh. It's hysterical.
yeah. Guys, this wizard's talking to us and he's telling me we don't know stuff. It's kind of rude. Should we talk to him?
We kind of just did.
It's true. We did. We asked him what's coming. But I don't know if we can trust him.
When you say that, he again, his moves are almost glacial. He's not like in a big hurry, but he spreads his hand slowly to this freakishly inhuman span that I
Range.
can't even do. So like his pinky is
because the
pointing-
phalanges.
right. There's no
There's
tendon-
no tendons,
tendons holding it in place.
holding it.
So he does this complete angle, and he puts his hand down in front of him like this, and 5 skeletons start climbing out of the sand around him.
Seems
In front of-
trustworthy. I say we all lie down and let him just present our necks on our knees, make this easy for them. I'll go ahead and
Bertie, look, it's your
firebolt
friends.
the wizard.
Firebolting the lizard.
The head.
The wizard.
The wizard.
Go ahead.
Wizard.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Gotta roll to hit.
The wizard with the most.
Good call.
7.
You're a wizard, so it's intelligence
Roll.
and proficiency.
Roll a d6.
5, 13. A
Roll a
D6.
six-sided dice.
This is the trend I started with a warlock.
5.
He used to try to Eldritch blast everything,
Yeah.
and we had to decide whether or not he was hooking or slicing because he kept missing so bad. so now I decided with spellcasting you can do that. So
5.
so 5. So you sliced it pretty bad.
I imagine there's a rock off just right in the water that you blam into.
Yeah.
Nice.
You think when I
Now,
release treasures over there?
These skeletons, as they stand up, are
God.
black in color. The bones themselves are black. There's a greenish lichen that grows along the edges of them, amplifying the dark effect of them because they actually
the
it's from
glow
the
adds extra darkness.
Yes, it makes the rest seem more impressively dark. But more importantly, the reddish runes similar to his hat are in the bone itself. And so they're marching towards you. 2 of you are at 1 HP, and 1 of you just came back from death.
I'm gonna use my movement to get the fuck back.
Running back up the mountain, are we?
Yep, I'm running all the way back up to the top of it.
That means 3 checks at disadvantage since you're running.
I can't make that run again.
So we're in combat.
Well, you can try to avoid it,
Yeah.
but to avoid it means climbing back up.
We're trapped, guys. We're between a rock and a hard place.
Shoot.
Literally.
We simply asked you what was to come. We did not expect you to show us your family.
What?
I think that's a little too late, Kern.
Yeah.
Can I read the runes?
Nothing
by any
nothing
chance?
is too late.
Are you familiar with
Especially
the runes?
Yeah. There's a possibility.
Apparently a ghost from
Dwarven.
You have it's
okay.
Arcana. If you had an arcane background, maybe.
I ain't
The
afraid
number of
dead.
times you're running into Arcana, I can see why you'd be going for Monster Hunter. It's like, oh, this is not good. This
Yeah,
is.
I'm kind of waiting for the
That
fiendish
perfect time.
language to pop up. But okay.
It'll come up eventually. Eventually.
All right.
Okay, but the point is that you can help each other on the climbing. You'll climb slower, but reduce the number. The skeletons aren't going to attack you if you start to climb up and out. They'll pursue, but they are not coordinated by any stretch. And several times you'll see them as they're pursuing you that they'll make a reach and they'll miss and they'll fall to the bottom, reform, and start the climb again. So
Climbing back up.
if you help each other, you can make the climb with advantage all the way back up to counteract the disadvantage you would normally have running from these.
I'll take up the rear.
So the two things that you notice, bottom. Number one is that this small inlet down here actually is a cove out onto the ocean, so you can actually make it back out to the water from this side of the island. Although it's really dangerous to get to coming down the cliff face. Furthermore, there is a tunnel that leads into the side of the island, indicating that there's a subterranean or subaquatic access.
Let's escape into the tunnel, you guys.
And well, no, in this case you went back up, but I'm just saying you saw it. So
Oh.
that you
We know it
that's
exists.
Which also means that potentially, if you came down through the mansion, it's possible that there's an access point. Finally, within the darkness, you could see the prow of a black ship. What kind of is disturbing is that it looks like a long ship, like a Viking style
Longboat.
with a dragon foremast.
Nice.
So you picked up some serious information as you withdrew. So these are things that you can ask people about when you get back to town and things like that, when you guys are more prepared to come back, because after the damage you guys have taken, you're probably not going to want to continue this engagement without a return home.
I'm going to take up the rear because I don't want my crew to get hurt beyond slipping on some rocks.
I say if one of us goes up, that's the best. He'll when the hands down.
Yeah, you.
That's
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 what we'd be
each other
doing.
up.
That's exactly
That's
what
how
we do.
everyone would be getting advantage.
Right. You're working as a team to get back up the mountain.
Yeah.
So,
Checks.
Yep.
Who's first in line? I'm
Is
just
it-
curious.
Athletics, or just
you
general.
can do athletics or acrobatics, and you get advantage because
Okay.
you actually get just one roll because the advantage knocks out the disadvantage you would have running fast. So,
So just regular rolls. First person.
instead of 3 rolls, it's just 1 roll because you're getting help. So the number of times you slip.
Not
are
20.
Nice.
Tinkle toes over
Okay.
that style.
6.
Well, you're the parkour expert.
Yeah. Oh man, for a mage, I got.
We're gonna have to change your name to Peter Parkour.
Peter Parker. Spider-Man. Spider.
So
I know as you love the spiders, the first adventure too.
Spiders.
Yeah.
What number do we
6.
have to make?
6.
oh no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I made those.
You'll
It's
have.
a DC 14 again.
Yeah. He's gonna go to 1. Down to 1. You were at 1. You were at 8.
10.
You were at 10. Okay. You take another 4.
And how many rolls do we have to make?
Just 1.
Just one right
Oh.
now.
Okay. What'd you make?
14.
14. What'd you make?
I made an 18 on my first
Okay.
one.
So everybody makes it. Oh no, the 14 is under the 16. So.
Oh, I thought it was a 14 DC. Okay.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. You're right. So you make it up. All right, everybody's up, and the regular path back down to your other vessel, back down to the vessel, is easy enough to accomplish.
Okay.
That was a short reconnaissance mission, but I feel like we learned a lot. 1. Mages on the beach that are mostly sinew and bone summon skeletons. Black skeletons.
Well, hold on. I think you have some dirt from when you fell earlier on your shoulder.
Thanks. I got dirty. I got messed up. Those rocks were intense, bro.
Okay, and as you're climbing into the dinghy, all of you also can make a perception test.
Oh, of course. Watch me go into the room. Oh, I made a
25.
Yeah, there's a lantern in the boat. That wasn't there before.
Is it a matching set?
Matching set to what?
The
She
lantern
has.
we had before.
Oh, is that? Oh, you brought the lantern with you?
Yeah.
Oh no, never mind.
Oh,
So it's not
well,
there.
No, I was just making sure that it got to the boat. That's the main thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we do not notice a lantern that was not there before in the
Exactly.
boat, other than
Nice.
the one in her hand.
Nice. All right. So you row back out
He
to
said, oh, never mind.
row back out to the saddle and get on board. Get back in the saddle again.
Get back on the saddle.
Those
Can
call
you
something different.
identify the nature of magic?
Oh,
Detect magic
Actually-
allows them to know the school, but that's it.
yeah.
What does identify do?
It
It
identify actually
That-
lets you learn
okay.
everything.
Identify nowadays is the broken version,
Give me all the information, please. Thank you.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Right.
Detriments, bonuses.
including. Oh, this weapon is cursed, and if you touch it, you do da da da. It's like, wait a minute. Back in the olden days, you had to do
touch
Yeah,
that.
you had to actually get
Ah,
cursed.
just like
It's a good
millennials
thing.
to ruin everything.
So
I'm
yeah,
not cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or am I?
Well, if it curses you when you touch it,
So
part
what
of
do we?
identify
What do we
is touching.
use? What did you use detect on? What were the items that I gave you? 'Cause I can give you what the scrolls are now.
The sword, that cutlass.
Okay, so the swords are. What do you call them?
Sometimes it could just be pure magic.
Enchantment.
Yeah. For the duration, you sense present object there. There's magic. You learn.
I think
It's just school of magic.
Yeah.
If it has a school.
Yeah.
The problem is most magic items don't always have schools.
True.
Give me a second. Magic items. There we go. Okay. So the swords list only as magical, but because of full disclosure, you haven't identified yet. So
Yeah,
they're
no,
just,
identified,
just
so
base
just-
magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So swords don't yield any type of school. Is from what I gather with that
The
comment.
cutlass identifies
Let's
it.
see.
Well, he's doing it on the swords that do identify.
Actually, no. Here's the problem with. Okay, that's identified. Detection.
Yeah, the hardest part with identify is getting that pearl for it. It takes a pearl that's worth 100 gold pieces. that you have to have it in contact with your hand the whole time you're casting the spell. At the end of the spell, you have to grab the
Components.
object.
Is that for everything?
That's for identify.
Oh, just for identify, or
That is
like
that is
Okay,
the
so what else
prerequisite
detected his
requirement for
magic?
identify.
His bag, which we haven't talked about yet, and
the
lantern?
cutlass.
all the swords?
okay, so the
Lantern.
lantern will detect as having an enchantment on
Okay.
Okay, we need to identify it.
it. And what's the other?
The cutlass.
Ah,
yeah,
the
the
cutlass.
cutlass itself.
Okay, so the cutlass has a. What's it called?
So what's our plan once we get back on this boat? We heading up north to look for these fish folk. These.
We're going back to the Wizard
Sappers?
Estate to report everything, and
And heal, which I can't do
Report
until
to-
tomorrow.
report to Father. Report
Daddy.
to who we need.
Isn't he with us on the boat, on the saddle?
Yes, he is. But you
So-
know, nothing
got-
is like receiving bad news in the comfort of one's home.
So we got to go all the way to his house to tell him bad news.
Necromancy
Necromancy on the cutlass.
on the cutlass.
Nice. So it could
That
have
does
healing
not
properties.
sit well. That's true.
Well, now
Because
remember
that's the
that-
funniest thing.
Yeah.
Necromancy. A lot of
Yeah,
healing
the healing
spells.
spells used to be necromantic.
They
Some
still
of them
are.
are still,
They
yeah.
still
Spare
are.
the dying.
Revivify anything that raises the dead is still necromancy. I find it hilarious.
Alright, so cutlass.
Hey, I'm a wizard and I don't get healing spells that raise the dead.
It's almost like
I
a
just get to raise the dead.
So-
anti-necromancy.
The trip back is uneventful. The crew actually ends up pulling in a couple of nets of fish along the way to make it worth their time. And you make it back to port about sunset.
Nice.
In the meantime, I do wash the clothes that he lent me, and
You're still going to get the blood out of them.
yeah, to get the blood out of them, and then hopefully I can go ahead and.
Or you can cantrip them. You have prestidigitation to take a few.
But then you said it doesn't last.
No, I agreed with you that it
Oh.
gets it clean. I just was saying that it can get dirty again. You were trying to argue that it would never be dirty ever
no. I
again.
would have never argued that.
That's what I got from what you were saying.
Oh no, I was just okay. So yeah, she can use prestidigitation once every what you call it.
Just takes you a few
once
minutes.
for each garment and get it
Yeah.
them all cleaned.
Every scrap of cloth.
But she dresses back in that rather than the strange clothes she found. She keeps them though. She figures she can.
It's a great Halloween costume.
No, she figures she can get needle and thread and change them because she actually now only has her mage robes and his clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even. I'm gonna have to come up with a backpack and a bedroll and all that stuff.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So back in port.
And she's gonna have to disguise
Anything
herself.
different when we come back to Selk?
Well, it's only been 24 hours, so it hasn't been a really major change. The garrison is still working on building their
Barracks.
barracks.
She does wrap up her head again, like in a turban
Mm-hmm.
or a snood.
I suggest we stay on the boat.
He's become paranoid. He's like, I'm gonna stay right here.
She's not paranoid. She just try
I'm
to
paranoid.
figure a
Prepared to
way
talk?
to disguise herself enough that a person might look but not see what they are looking for.
We prepare to dock.
Okay. So you're docked back at your slip.
Yep.
She figures she can hang the sword on her hip, and in the dark clothing, and she looks like something else. Now,
Okay.
the thing is, she needs a hair dye, but she can't trust Tana, so she'll have to find someone else that might help her so she can dye her hair.
So, we tell Davros everything that happened.
Dobro.
Dabro, sorry. I'm still Friday.
Still feeding the Friday character. Huh?
Yes.
The Friday villain is learning more than he needs to know.
Daddy, I'm sorry I always get your name wrong. Yeah, tell Dobro everything that we got off of that. Did we need to report to anyone about anything? Gellum or any of the Pridewater stuff?
I think at this point, Gellum is like a small fish.
Yes, but a small fish can grow into a big one.
But he works for. True.
Just asking, is there any reason that we need to go talk to him?
Who? That one?
Gellum.
Gallon, Pridewater.
Well, actually, we should keep him in the loop.
Yeah.
He could help us in town. Well.
All right, so you're gonna go see Gallon.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I was
so
gonna go see Ada.
okay.
I'll join him in going to see Gellum.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad you're back. I was afraid you wouldn't make it back in time for the rally.
Ada, I need to disguise myself. I need something to change my hair color.
Okay.
And
There's several different old wives' tale versions of things. You could use some bleach. You could
we can use what?
bleach to make
My
your hair lighter.
Well, my hair is light already.
Okay, well you
Make
just
it even
I need to make it dark.
tar.
Some common color.
Tar.
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 T-A-R.
Tar. I don't know what tar is.
What?
It's an oil-based material. You take it out of the ground. Pitch. It's a little flammable,
Ash.
No, I don't think that's a wise idea.
but it definitely changes the color of your hair to a deep reddish black.
What about something that dyes clothes?
Oh, you don't want to use that on your skin. Oh God.
Not on my skin, on my hair.
Now, I know. Burn your scalp. I mean, bad enough we're recommending bleach. That, don't want to get that in your eyes. Holy moly. Tree sap would do kind of a greenish brown.
Tree sap?
Yeah.
Tree sap.
I don't know. We could try it on a piece of my hair. I could cut off a lock or two and see what happens when we use it.
Sure. But what I'm getting at is we're making a lot out of nothing here. There are a lot, even throughout all of history, women have found ways to change the color of their hair.
Yeah.
Almost always, they're natural remedies. They don't last very long.
Yeah.
But if you want your hair a different color, we can get it just about any color of the rainbow.
All she wanted is not the color it is.
Okay.
Tar.
Well,
Tar's
ink
easy.
might do it,
Tar is easy.
but again, it's not permanent.
Yeah, ink would be expensive because
Yeah.
most inks are made from squid, and that takes a lot of
You have to
squid.
harvest and wrestle them.
See, now I know of henna,
No, you catch
because
the little
henna
ones
will
and
turn
squeeze
into
them.
red brown.
That just means a little. I'm
But
kidding.
I don't know if they have henna.
Yeah,
And a walnut.
that's what I'm telling you. There's lots of other ways to worry about that, so don't worry about it. Just say I want
Okay.
to change the hair color. Okay. Good.
Where did you want to go, Bernie?
I'll follow you guys to
Gellum?
Gallon Pridewater.
I wasn't sure if you were going to go get your hair dyed too.
Yeah,
Give that youthful appearance.
Bernie's happy with his red hair.
But you now have memories of having brown hair
Weird.
and a bandana
Brown hair and a bandana?
And a woman on your arm.
and having had sex.
What's that like?
Distant memory.
But that was long ago.
Oh, the things you've forgotten.
All the things you'll see.
All right. Show up at Gellon's. The butler's there.
Oh,
We're
his
gonna help
favorite.
you.
Here to see Primewater.
Of course you are. What else is new? Anything that I can tell him to save us both some time?
Nope.
Of course not.
Just fetch him for us, won't you, dear?
How rude to the butler.
He grumbles away. A little bit later, Gellon goes, "Hey guys, what's going on?"
There you go.
Hello, Gellum. How are you doing today?
Doing fine. So did you finally get that coordination done so that you're part of the club now?
Yes.
Good.
Seven princess.
Wow.
I don't know. We were not taught the secret handshake.
We're not throwing signs. No, we're not.
No.
Them gang signs. Dang.
I'm counting. I don't know what you guys
Yeah,
are
we
doing.
got jumped in, dog. We're in the club now.
Yeah, I'm a rogue and I got thieves camp, and I have no clue what the heck the little symbol for friendly is.
Yeah.
It's like up in smoke. Do you know what pendejo means? No, it means good friend.
Yep, totally.
So, what can you tell me about our new association? Who's your contact now? He blinks.
Richard?
Ah,
Is this his name?
good. And he's sending you north or south?
Heading up north. We're supposed to be checking the coast for sappers.
Yeah. Even the walls have ears here, friend. Just want to know which direction you were headed. I'm not privy to what your business is, and
By mistake, we're heading up north.
yeah, that's good. The southern flank's a little more dangerous anyway, so you're better off, especially your
Appreciate the
Rookie
warning.
status.
Thank you.
yeah. Oh, and be careful with Richard. He'll make mountains out of molehills and could make your life a lot more difficult. So make sure you only.
Exaggerates? My goodness.
No, not so much that. He has this expanded view of his own self-worth, so he tends to take credit for stuff he didn't do and give you the blame for stuff he did.
Common problem. Take credit for the success and then defer for the failures.
Yeah. Well, dealing with the seven princes, the princes do, when it comes down to it, get pretty severe. So,
In their punishment, they don't like to be failed.
well, when you have failure at sea, it's not a very far walk to get off the ship, if you know what I mean.
Indeed. Take a long
Shark
walk on it.
infested or eel infested waters.
Could be perilous for someone taking a long
Long
walk.
eels.
Screaming,
Screaming, that's it.
shrieking.
Shrieking, yeah. Shrieking. What's it shrieking? Shrieking. Yeah, shrieking.
Don't worry, Your Highness. They only get louder when they're about to feed.
Anything else?
Well,
Any
we
questions?
appreciate the tip, Gillen, but we're actually checking in for a bit of business. You got anything for us?
Well, since you're headed north,
There we are.
you get
Very efficient businessmen. We appreciate killing two birds with one stone. Figure if we're headed that way anyway.
Just don't kill an albatross.
Well, those are protected.
Okay, so you're going north, and you're gonna go check out the dangers there. Oh, do me a favor. Stop by the Abbey.
The Abbey.
Yes, and give Her Eminence my condolences on her recent losses.
Mm.
With these condolences, are they monetary, any kind of physical, or are we just passing along your sentiments?
It's the fact that in Lever, which is the capital of Fulcrum, in Lever, 4 of the holy orders were taken under protective custody by the government on the possibility that they might be colluding with the traditionalists.
Mm.
That apparently the unrest we're having here is being felt all the way to the capital, and the Avis some of her close friends are now imprisoned.
Sounds like she's in a hard place.
happens when your faith comes into opposition with the power base of the nation.
Well, let me check with my associates here. What do you all think something like this, passing on condolences, maybe getting in the way of the government coming up on their radar's worth, as compensation goes?
Oh, I'm just asking you to do it for me as a favor.
Nothing's free in this world, friend.
I just got you a job worth of God knows how much he's paying you. I have friends in high places. You have friends in low. We're just getting to the point
A
where
simple message could lead to a budding new relationship.
That's a fair point. Maybe we return and need a favor at some point. You'd help us out.
If it's message based.
We deliver a message for you. You're gonna send a message for us.
I think you'll find that our relationship will go much better when you recognize that you are the tools and I'm the master craftsman.
I always like being talked to like I'm a hammer. Problem is, tools can be dangerous.
Yes. They can
Yes,
be.
yes. As a person who might have been named Phillips, you could definitely get screwed.
Very nice. Well, looks like we must be off.
And as far as it comes down, if you work for me, make sure you stay sober because I don't want you getting hammered on the job.
Love it, all these tool jokes. Was this home improvement? Hey.
Well, I think we must be off. Our
Yeah, and
friend.
I know you don't want to have to wrench yourself away. And I really don't want to drill you about any other details.
Oh my God. Okay, Bernie's just giving a thumbs up and just wandering out.
I'm just happy you don't have a collapsed lung with a 1 hit point.
Seriously. Barely standing.
He is well over.
Just covered in bruises from rocks.
You only have
stumbled
12% of your health. That is my concern.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right, so back to your house. Does you still have your house?
We still have our shack that is being worked on.
Yeah, gnomes are.
With an e-bathhouse?
Yep.
She can't go back there.
With an e-bathhouse.
You can't go back
with
to
an E at the
bathhouse?
end.
I don't think they're going to go back
Bath.
there. They knew I was with them.
Well,
Bathe? Is that how you
The
spell
Reds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reese.
And they were hunting, and they
Sneak
might
back in.
have somebody there looking out to see if I come back.
But you're going in disguise.
I hope it's a successful disguise, but the best thing I can do is keep away from them and the house.
But then where are you going to stay?
I'm going to ask Ada if I can stay with her.
Oh, Ada goes, why would you do that? Your house is more secluded than here. You have to come in and out through the front door here. I mean, there's people on the street that could see you. Lucky you came in, like you said,
Could the priest at the temple possibly house me somewhere?
if there was a need for sanctuary, but I don't think you're under sanctuary. I think they asked you to go talk to the Red King, right?
No, they were going to take me there whether I liked it or not.
And you escaped that.
Yes, and they started hunting me.
I don't think we have any reason to believe hunting.
They were at the
yes,
time.
they were.
They were at the time.
Mm.
But that was 24 hours ago. I haven't seen them around. They haven't come and asked me any more questions.
Ages ago.
Well, help me find a good way to color my hair and I'll
Sure.
go back. But you're not happy.
Aha! If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Nice.
These documents are getting her mixed into.
Alright. Yes, we make our way back towards the bathhouse to get a long rest.
Yep.
I agree.
And you going to light a fire and enjoy the hearth and all of that, or are you going to just fall into bed and worry about it tomorrow?
What season is it right now?
Spring.
Spring? Okay, yeah.
Pass out.
We can I'll light a small fire in the hearth to keep the building warm.
Okay. So next day, long rest. Yay! It feels much better.
How much do we get back though?
You get to
All.
All of it back?
It's a game.
The reset button clicks.
Yep.
Watch the clock. 0 hit point, 0 hit point, 0 hit point, or 1 hit point, 1 hit point, 1 hit point, right at midnight. Beep! All my hit points, all my hit points, all my hit points.
Cookies are ready.
Ding!
So did she give me something that makes sense for that I can go out and
You wake up, first
purchase?
thing you do is you just cough very
Mm,
hard.
to
Or
get my
falls
hair
out.
dyed?
You get a little
Yeah,
bubble
she
of
probably
this
used
big
squid ink
bulge
because she
and
probably had it
it's
right there at
that.
the house.
Oh, that's
Okay.
what was doing that.
I see. That was the custom.
My hair will
Little pile of
absorb
rocks
it,
next to
won't
the
it?
bench.
Yeah.
Okay. So she
It'll,
now
it'll,
has-
it'll wash out before it grows out. So it's not
Okay.
it's never gonna be that weird shock color line in your hair because it doesn't actually permanently change it.
Nice.
But you can just add it periodically.
she'll let a couple tendrils fall down in the dark hair, but other than that, she'll tie a kerchief over it like a pirate kerchief,
Sure.
bind her hair back.
Sure. So, okay. Let's
How's
see.
the gnome's progress today?
The gnomes have finished the stairs. They don't have a handrail on it because they warn you not to be careful using the stairs.
Okay.
If we're gonna
My only
do
paranoia is they give us a gnome
Traveling.
handrail.
I'm going to need something, some basic things that people use when they travel. Can somebody help me figure out what those are and make up like one of those packs?
I'm sorry, I just find it funny. I need some of those things that people take when they travel. I don't know what they are, but I need them.
No. I don't know exactly. I know the clothes
No,
and,
I'm just-
and food, but she's never had to backpack or carry anything like that.
I know.
Oh, she
I'm
sounds
just-
like a noble, like every noble you guys have ever met. Oh, I see. She doesn't want to carry anything. I get it.
Carry
I'm
my
just
phone.
laughing. I need the things. I don't know what they are, but I need the things.
Give me the things.
I need to get things.
Give me those things.
Hey, you got things. I want things.
Everybody needs some things.
He's got some nice things.
Maybe we can kill him and take his things.
Oh, and I
No,
need
that
to
would not be
learn
nice
how to
because
use
then
his
his things would
sword.
have blood on them.
You're right. You can't.
Oh,
things
everybody
with
make
blood.
your D20 scuttlebutt roll for me.
Scuttlebutt. Just a flat roll, or
It's just a D20. You're just going to give me the number. I'm going to go. I'm reading off of a chart.
17.
And of course. Okay.
lucky number 13.
Okay. Just make.
7.
Okay.
Lucky
and-
seven.
Well,
Okay, so I'll go with the 7 first. The local soldiers have been making great sport out of throwing axes at. There was a wooden statue that was made by. What's her name? A second. Where's she at? Yeah, at Ada's house. She had a wooden statue of a fisherman, and the guards have been using it for dagger throwing practice. So she tried to stand up against it, and they basically requisitioned it for military training purposes. And so they took it from her property by mandate.
By legislation.
What's the term for it? There's a term for it.
Commandeer?
Not manifest destiny. What's the other term? When you eminent domain.
Yes.
Eminent domain. We need this for training, so we're taking it. So they're practicing throwing knives at a fisherman, which doesn't go really
Statue.
well with it. Yeah, which doesn't go real well with the local traditionalists who see that as directly slamming the local fishing population.
That's a dagger to the face.
It's a
Come on.
dagger to the face of the road. Yeah,
How many guards or soldiers are in town?
Yes.
About-
they
is it-
brought an entire garrison. So there's 1,000.
A thousand?
I'm sorry, there's 100.
100.
100.
A centurion of them.
Might be too many to kill for a statue.
80 soldiers and the rest are just workers.
Well, that's only 25 soldiers.
No,
each.
century is 99 and an officer.
Well, you have the non-combat too, that follow the.
Right.
Yeah.
That's in addition to the 99. So
Yeah, they don't count the supporters in a centurion.
Unless it's a Persian
Century.
army.
in a century, right?
Yeah.
Only one in a century. Let's see. Well, that was the 7. What'd you get? 12?
Well,
12.
For her.
Apparently, Eleander Fireborn has had an accident. If you remember, he's the he fought in the Red Army back when the king's name meant something, and he
Oh.
retired here and was
fire, what?
Fireborn.
Fireborn. He's a local celebrity because he knows lots of
Must be
different
a cousin
languages.
to the Firecrotch family.
It was long lost cousin.
Yeah, but anyway, Eleander got in a fight because apparently he was walking down an alley coming back from his usual time spent at the net.
Yeah, we
And-
firebrands are drinkers. It's
Now, is he a
family tree.
traditionalist?
No, he's a royalist.
Because
But he
he's
gets
the-
caught by the locals, and although he reports it as having an accident, they basically had to go to the Procon temple to get healing for him. He got beat up pretty badly, apparently. It's one of those cases where he fell up and down a flight of stairs several times.
Snitches get
He's
stitches.
got up. Fucking.
he fell down the up escalator.
Ooh, that's a rough one.
What's that line? I didn't tell him that my brother fell down the elevator shaft onto some bullets.
26.
And then the next one was
13.
13. Oh.
Oh.
Ministrad apparently has finally got her claim filed for the mining property up in Banbury.
Ooh.
And so they've been celebrating at the other end, the goat. And the dwarves have been buying drinks from me. last couple of
Here.
days.
We're sitting over there.
Ooh, good way to start the breakfast.
I started over there.
Oh wait, the dwarves are there? Oh, well, we have something that dwarves might be able to tell us more about.
Necromantic sword.
Okay.
Write on a piece of paper. Not actually show them the sword.
Why not just show it to them?
They might claim
They're
it
my-
as theirs because it has their markings
Hey,
on
that's
it.
my old sword, man. Give it back.
Dwarves tend to be greedy.
Yeah, they are. Dirty, disgusting.
So what I've heard.
And
I feel you think
your
too soon.
your recently recognized new friend Andrews Solmore has left like 15 notices at your house posted to the door. Where's I can't remember. Oh, where's Terry? I need to see Terry. I miss Terry.
Is that
Yeah,
the
Carlos's character.
yes.
Who?
He
The
played
first game?
Yeah,
I thought it was.
Terrison or something.
she played
Charlotte?
He
No,
played
that
Charlotte,
was his
but
other
yeah,
character.
right. So he switched to Terry. Terry was the one that fell in love with.
Yeah, that was a different name.
It was a longer name. It was like Teresa or
Yeah.
whatever.
I thought it was
Exactly.
like Terracin or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Terry.
But
for short.
Terry
Got
for
it.
short.
Yeah.
Terry, come back! I miss you.
Wait,
I
we thought-
want
we
to
thought
see you.
We can extort him.
We thought that she ran away with him, but apparently not.
Right. That's actually the point.
17's
I
the
see an
last
angle
one.
there.
17 was the last one.
Yes.
There's a kidnapped woman.
We will go search for her.
One day.
Oh,
But we need
Town
a little
Guard has been
help.
forced to put a curfew in place for local children. Apparently, lately the loyalists have been emboldening the kids to take out their revolts by spitting on, throwing things at, otherwise being nuisances to the garrison, which means that they're having to chase these kids, and they're not built for that kind of work. So therefore, they're putting a curfew into place to try to cut down on the violence against their own.
Won't someone think about the children? Now let's put a curfew on them.
And this last week, or rather yesterday, was a bountiful catch week. So the fishermen are in town spending.
They're happy because they were having trouble.
Yes.
No kids in the street. Got plenty of fish. As good as a good time. Guys.
Beer,
As good as
beer
get better.
being freely supplied.
Right, these dwarves are buying us beer.
Dwarves willing to tell us about cutlasses. I think it's a good day.
There's a lot of scuttlebutt going around here. Huh? There's a lot of rumors. A bunch of chatty Cathys up in this place. Tell you what.
I'm so enthralled. Do you have any more for this?
Uh,
Well, you were like going like, ooh, a bunch of rumors, a bunch of chat Cathys, a bunch of this, a whole gaggle of this. I'm just curious if you got more.
Gaggle of geese out here, honking on about stuff.
Nice.
Could I know about how much of the town is traditionalist loyalist? Is it
It's
a more
okay.
traditionalist?
It's been a traditional town for a long
Mhm.
time. Every once in a while, the loyalists, the royals will raise their head and draw attention, and usually pretty quickly it calms itself back down. Just simply people don't want to bring it up. The fact that this time they brought a garrison in suggests that the crown is wanting more pressure put. Therefore, although it's a low percentage of the population, there's a high incentive to want the royals to feel okay. You don't want the garrison to turn on people.
I don't remember. Is this a walled town or is it just
It's not.
pretty much?
It's not.
It's not.
It's open.
It's very similar to North American settlements
Mhm.
in terms of its structure and stuff. It's got a pretty bustling water business in fish and things like that. But then traders will bring from the inner parts of the country deer and things like that for
Mhm.
food and to trade and things like that. So
It's a trading port. It's harbor. Way the way I figure it, we got.
and it's one of the few deep waters. You remember deep water
Mhm.
ports because the vessels can just basically be brought almost up to the shoreline.
It's not the best harbor.
Right. It's not a great harbor. That's the reason why it's
So I think we
but
should
it is the quickest way to
go
get to
take those
Banbury
dwarves up on their
vessels.
generous offer, and should the conversation arise, we can ask about the runes and various other things. Maybe we can ask and see if any sailors know anything about the attackers. I can't remember the names.
Sepperson?
Separison.
Saprasa.
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 So yes, perhaps maybe some of the local fishers know about the Saprasa. And a good way to loosen some lips is with some free alcohol.
Hey, I'll agree with that.
So I'll go ahead and copy down the runes.
Okay.
Imagine.
I don't know how long it'll take, but I'll make it back to the.
Oh yeah, you're back. So whatever you want to do
After.
what do you do for the evening?
What she wants to do is make money so she can get enough money to buy the supplies. But right now, what she'll do is ask for a list of stuff that she should have to make up a proper backpack.
We're going on an adventure. Well, there's that shop. What's the name of the halfling that's running the business? Bob's or Norm's or whatever?
Mm,
No, a couple weeks ago.
yeah, I don't know about that guy.
What is his name?
I don't remember his name, but he's selling a lot of bathtubs.
Oh yes,
Oh yeah, him.
the bathtubs.
What is his?
Oh,
Tell me the names here. Come on, guys. Somebody wrote it down.
I lost my notebook.
Oh no.
Yep.
Had to start a new one.
Worst case scenario.
Could have been.
Kind of talk over to Kern. Hey, man. So these dwarves, we ask them about the blade. We ask them about
What was the other thing we're doing over there with the dwarves?
Oh,
Oh well, we're just asking the dwarves anything about that cutlass that we can. Then we're just gonna have a nice time on their dime, on their copper to
why are
pay
we
for our
talking
drinks.
to the dwarves?
Sounds like
The
good time.
runes on the cutlass.
Oh, good idea.
Might
And
know
just
about
if
the
we
sword.
Do you remember
if we see any
Eleander?
sailors, we can ask about the San
Fireborn?
Juan attackers.
Anybody?
Yeah, we just talked about Eleander.
Zaperson. Or Suppress.
Somebody had one of the
Yeah,
rumors.
that's mine.
Yeah.
My rumor. Anybody know remember Eleander? You must know Eleander Fireborn?
He's a bit of a hothead.
Well, apparently he had an accident. He needed to go to the ocean temple, ocean god's temple, to get healing, and he said it was just an accident. But from the
How
way
dreadful.
from the way they were talking, I think it was an accident.
Well,
Yeah,
they actually did say that he fell up and down the flight of stairs.
Oh, they said he fell up and down a flight of stairs several
Oh,
times.
those tricky stairs. Sometimes you just can't trust them.
How can you fall up?
That's a good question. I'd like to experiment with that.
Well, when you're going down the stairs, if you fall backwards, are you still falling down the stairs?
No, I wouldn't be falling at that point.
Rising to the occasion?
Yeah, you're rising to the
It
fall.
seemed to me
Rising to the
that maybe it wasn't all that accidental.
I agree. I think you're right, Tiara.
I think the way they were saying it led you to believe it had nothing to do with an accident.
Some not so coded language, I
Yeah.
agree.
Apparently, the two sides of this thing are becoming more confrontational, and that's bad.
Seems like tensions are ramping up, and I think the Red King is at the center
Well,
of
it
that
doesn't
tension
help
rise.
that they're here. It doesn't help me at all.
No.
I can't even go to the inn and make money.
How do you expect to make money at the inn? I'm curious.
I did prestidigitation. I did magic tricks. I made some good money.
I see.
I can sing too, but
Yeah, we're
I
too.
prefer playing a harp. I sing too.
Perhaps
I
there's
don't
some
have
music.
a harp.
Perhaps there's some dwarves that appreciate a good tune where we're going. Maybe you can play there.
That sounds like a
I'm
good
afraid
idea.
a lot of what I play is in another language.
Or perform.
What do you think, Tiara? Should we go give these dwarves a little performance, see if we can earn you some cash?
They're being loose with their coins.
I heard they're drunk. Might be having some loose change coming around.
I like that answer. They might be.
Well,
I hear
maybe
they're
they
drunk.
Maybe they would appreciate the little magic show I do.
I think they would.
But I have to be like this and not like that. And shows you her hair. It's dyed now dark.
Looks fine.
Kind of a
honey.
mousy brown.
Looking great.
Huh?
And, you're looking good, huh? I like it.
I don't know about that, but just as long as I don't look like me, I'm fine.
You don't look like you at all.
I don't recognize you at all.
She just, no, And I'm going to have to get another change of clothes and some needles and thread, and so I can change those other clothes. Because it's good material, sort of. Oh, but hold together enough. We'll see.
So from what I gather, we're all going to the dwarves to take them up on their generous offer of
I
drinks.
thought his name started with an S, but it looks like it's starts with a V. Vinny?
Pardon?
I'm trying to remember the merchant's name. You guys can't help me here. The guy who's selling the
Vince.
bathtubs. Vince, right?
Vents.
Vince with an E.
That sounds like a smuggler / hustler.
Yes.
Yes,
We need to go vents these items.
Vince.
Vents.
Yeah.
Vince or Vince?
Vents.
Vinny. Vinny for sure.
Vinny.
Oh, I would say vents. V-E-N.
Vinny.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Vin.
Oh, Vanny.
Like Vinny with a V, yeah. Vinny Candlestick. Vinny the Candlestick. He's
The
very
what?
short-tempered and has a red nose.
Isn't he a halfling or something
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll kind of nod at the rest of the party and say, "Hey, you guys want to head over to the dwarves' place? See if we can pump them for some information on the sword, cutlass we got.
You sure?
Might know something. I thought it was dwarvish that was written down the runes."
I agree.
So, you head to the training net where they're partying and buying drinks for everybody. Surprising number of red uniforms.
Okay.
I passed you the paper, Kern.
I see. I
Need
see.
gloves.
And then
Are you you bringing the blade with you, or are you putting the
No.
blade, leaving the blade at the house?
Oh, that was the joke I was just doing.
I know.
I believe
Because
I left the
I
blade
heard
at the
nothing
house.
about leaving it.
Do you have gloves?
Not at the moment.
Oh.
I'll go
Walking around town with gloves on just makes people
to
very
his.
careful.
Was it your dad's manor? Your manor?
The Withen Estate,
Yes.
where the garrison is primarily located,
Oh. No, I thought they're occupying the warehouses.
They are.
which is right next to the
Oh.
Withen Estate.
So where is your father?
At
Well,
the Withen Estate.
No, more than likely is that he's still at the ship because you just landed tonight. So.
Yeah. Oh,
Or
it's
just
already
yesterday. Yeah,
Oh,
it's his ship. So he's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
Okay.
Well, and he doesn't want to get in trouble for talking bad about the royals, so he stays away for as much as he can.
Smart man.
Yeah.
It's
The
royal.
reality in a place that's fundamentally an occupied state, you don't go around making enemies with the people that are your protectors,
Occupants.
occupiers. Yeah.
Fun, fun, fun.
You also notice that there looks like a triage camp being set up outside of the Procon Temple.
A triage camp?
Yeah, that looks like they're bringing in injured people and stuff and setting up.
Oh, could I
Is there
check
soldiers
there and find out what's going on?
running around?
What's that?
Is there soldiers running around?
Mm-hmm.
Can I go there and see what's going on?
Sure. As you approach
The
a few of the Scarlet, a few of the Crimson Guards will stop and go, what I can help you.
Places.
I come here to see the priest.
Oh, yes, he's incredibly busy right now. He's we're in intake phases right now, so
What happened?
just a minor incursion just to the north of town. Nothing to be concerned about. There were no local casualties
So
whatsoever.
you will protect us.
The
Oh.
statue fell and so.
They threw it and bounced back.
You say an incursion.
They
by
do
who?
need training.
You say an incursion by whom?
It really doesn't matter. It's a national security issue, and so we're doing what we can to protect you.
Well, I appreciate your vagueness. Thank you.
Thank you.
National security.
National
God save the
security.
king! God save the king.
You know, I can tell you that that is an unacceptable response. People have the right to know.
Nice.
You know,
Nice. Now I know how Bernie sounds. Okay. I always thought he was a hothead. Now we realize that's not the part that's going on flames.
Really? He's just he's trying to lead down the middle path. Give everyone what they need.
Hey, he's a good self-respecting Texan. Of course they have right to know, so they can pull out their guns and shoot somebody.
Damn straight. We've settled it like a god intended with a 6-shooter.
he firebolts them. Open firebolt.
All right.
I
Well,
want a
gosh.
firebolt.
Are we going to
executor.
eventually need an open carry permit for him?
I think so.
You need a permit to carry your wizard out in public.
Yep. So, let's go with the order. You're going to go where?
Back to the ship to meet the captain.
Oh, you want to do that before you meet the dwarves?
Before.
Before you meet the dwarves? With the rubbing and all of that?
Do not want to step in that bar with all the.
With all the red suits,
Yeah.
you're like, I'm not going in there. Okay. He's
I'll
like,
go with Kern. Back
Okay.
him up in there.
okay. So they're going in, and
Since they
well,
won't let me-
the priest will eventually see you. As a matter of fact, if you want, you can help carry some of the gurneys and stuff and help carry the injured in.
Okay.
By doing so, you find that most of the injuries are slashing attacks high on the body. So whatever it is they're fighting are more than likely taller than they are. And the fighting form also indicates that it's like man-to-man fighting. It's not
standoff.
It's not explosives. It's not a lot of range attack weapons. It's
Okay.
brute force, face-to-face kind of fighting, which seems strange given the fact that this army is predominantly cavalry, as you may recall.
Oh yeah, because if they're cavalry and they're being attacked on their upper body, what's attacking them?
Something pretty big.
Centaurs, oh my god.
That's terrifying.
Cavalry or centaurs?
She'll keep her ears out open to hear if any of the soldiers are talking about what happened to them.
They are. They're saying that it appears that the force that was attacking were Urgluck. Urgluck. Urgluck.
Erdluck.
Urgluck are
G-L
UCK.
U-C-K. Erdluck attack.
Urgluck are not naturally found in the area of Fulcrum, so it appears that they've been
Displaced.
either
Imported in.
either they're imported or somebody is driving them from their natural terrain, which is not in here. This battle that they're discussing is to the south.
Okay. To the south?
Right. But that's where the wastes are, so there shouldn't be any reason for there to be massive creatures like Urgluck. Urgluck are basically another way. What the locals call them are hairy trolls.
Hairy
Trolls.
trolls.
Yes, they're big, like what you would think of as traditional fantasy troll size, but described more like Bigfoots.
Okay.
Sasquatch.
Big hairy.
She
big,
knows nothing
That comes
about
from
them, but she
Sasquatch.
says,
Big hairy beasts, but more in particular, like the Harry and the Henderson, the baboon kind of
Yikes.
really big and loose, fine hair all over their bodies.
okay.
Where do they predominantly live?
Hmm?
Do we know where they?
Urgluck are are not native to this continent at all.
Oh wow.
They're known to be the only reason why people would know about them is the fighting pits of Corum use them as an adversarial force to represent neutral defenders. They're basically wild animals, is the way they're treated. They do have a culture, and they do have a civilization, they even have a language, but it's unintelligible to most, and they just treat them.
Savages.
Yeah, exactly. They're
Disgusting.
yeah, and they smell bad too.
Dirty.
That
Never bathe.
damn dirty apes.
Savages.
Blew it all up.
Exactly. So that's what appears to be is an Urgluck attack. But if it's Urgluck, they brought in a bunch of them because the number of bodies that are being number of people that are being brought in are in the dozens. So it was a pretty large engagement, and it looks like it may have been possibly an entire division of the king's army.
If she can quietly
What's the
do
what's the
without-
casualties? I'm curious.
Is there any way to
They
use
wouldn't bring them. They
a
wouldn't bring them
spell
back
that
here.
does like 1 point, so if you found somebody seriously injured, she could try healing them just a bit so that it would save their life.
That's called Spare the Dying. It's a cantrip. No, it's not a cantrip. It's a level
It
1.
is a cantrip. It's a cantrip.
Spare the Dying is a cantrip?
Yeah,
Spare the dying is a cantrip. All
I
it does is
won't be able
stabilize.
to-
It does not give hit.
Okay, that's what I was getting at. All it
Okay.
does is it prevents them from dying.
Until I take cleric, I won't have that as a cantrip. Because
Right.
I've already taken the 4 that I'm allowed. Oh, wait, I do have 1 more because I don't have to take light. Light is natural to me. As
As
an
an Aasimar.
Aasimar.
Right.
So I could take Spare the Dying.
There you go.
I'll take Spare the Dying.
There you go.
Yeah.
That feels a lot better now. You don't have to die after every fight.
Brave. My
No,
character
because
was
Well,
just
she
a
was
lot
going to
older.
hit you with a heal, but she was taking so much damage that she never got a chance to,
No, we get it. We get it.
We get why.
Yeah, it's fine. Bernie doesn't need health points.
Bernie doesn't.
I just
have
need to
that.
not die when I fall down.
Oh, he's good. We got the Spare the Dying
So she-
healthcare program
She
around
does
here.
get to the priest and say,
Unfortunately, I don't think your plan
Help?
covers it.
what I have to do it
Everyone's got access.
surreptitiously?
Why?
Because
You're gonna have to pay one.
Because right now, I don't want the Reds to find me.
You're standing next to 3 or 4 of them here. What are you talking about?
She would have waited till she could get
I
in.
know, but I'm just saying. He's just saying there's so many around here. There's one. I'm sure there's one standing
Yes.
next in line to come in here.
And
Throw
you
a rock,
notice,
you'll find an injured one.
Exactly.
you notice the way I'm dressed.
Spit. You probably hit one of the injured ones.
This one. You notice the way I'm dressed, and I've changed my hair color.
Yes, but you're a woman, so.
No, she's bound her breast. She's still bound. So she
But
looks
doesn't the
more
priest know that?
masculine.
Doesn't the priest already know that, though you're a female?
He knows.
Right. So he's like, okay,
Okay.
I'm saying that the need to change your hair color and stuff that's
She-
women's prerogative.
They want to take.
This is pre 1990, okay? We are a bunch of insensitive boobs back then.
And I know, and she does have them, but she, as I said, she
But
bound
you
them.
have 2 points
so she's
against
flat.
you for your comment of
Okay.
with the beheader instead of using it.
Humor me at least.
You are 2 points
Sure.
behind because of that.
and
Everyone else
treat me
is
as a
1.
male.
Okay, Bobby.
Thank you. Bobby, interesting name. No, listen, she looks at him wondering if he's making a joke. Okay.
It's not a joke.
No, if I was going to make a joke, I'd call you Sarah.
Leslie.
No, not Sarah Connor. Fine. So she says, I have stabilized, spare the dying, and I can help with a point here and a point there to the most seriously wounded until something can be done for them.
Oh, sure. That's great.
Thank you.
All the help we can be great.
So that's what she'll do.
Okay. So, you
So
guys
she doesn't get
head
that
into
right
the
away.
party,
Yep.
and there's as much red. It's really kind of weird because you remember the Reds and Dwarves weren't getting along so well last time they were talking because the Reds were going to be guards for their caravan. But apparently now that the paperwork is legitimate and they own the land in the mining area of Banbury, the Dwarves are just ecstatic. But what's interesting is they are not here from the Scuttlebutt to mine gold. They're mining a black powder.
Interesting.
Mighty interesting how the winds change. Tell you what, a little beer gets flowing and people just get happy.
Yeah, and your little driver, the little wagon guy that doesn't stop until you tell him to, he's here too.
When we enter in, does anyone like go like a cheer or something? I'm just curious how lively it is.
Oh yeah, it's like definitely a happening place. But you don't see any of the traditionalist blue and brown, which are the colors of the traditionalists.
It's all the Red King up in here.
Yeah.
Well, boy, howdy. It's a good time in here. How about a couple drinks, Kern?
So, well, it looks like it's gonna be a festive afternoon.
Lucius, you thirsty?
Lucius is not there.
We're the only 2.
He
Yeah,
literally
he
he's walking along with the 2 of you, and he sees the red uniforms and went that way.
There's the ruins. Okay, bye. Got it. All right.
Well, you got the parchment here with the runes on it from Lucius, correct?
Yep.
Well, what do you think? We should ask someone. I'll go get some beers. Start walking over to the bartender.
So yeah, I see if I can get some of the dwarves.
Says if you're here with the dwarf contingent, you have to go over there. They've got the little wristbands, and then
Yes.
sorry, that's
Little cookie bed,
little clicky things. Totally anachronistic there, but you get 3 beers, and then we cut it off. That's it. Literally cut it off.
It's a good thing we got 7. Yeah, I make my way towards a table of dwarves.
Okay. What's your name? Copper's here.
Copper lock.
Copperlocks.
Oh, Copperlocks is here.
If.
He's not quite Goldilocks.
She.
No, she.
Yes. Yes.
Is it copper locks?
Copperlocks is referring to her hair.
Okay.
Has little copper.
Yeah, I remember you said it was bright red.
Copperlocks is a dwarf, right?
Yeah.
Manny.
Yes.
She
I
goes by
remember
Manny.
that one.
Monostrad is her name. Manny.
Remember when we drove in?
Yes.
First?
So yes, I
She was
stand
at-
by my comment of him.
Manny.
Well,
Come on in. Sit down. What's going on? No hard feelings about the aggression towards you about losing my cargo, right? You understand? Business, just business.
Have a nice conversation with me over something strong, and all will be forgiven.
Cool. Let's find out.
Bum, bum, bum.
I feel that
You want to find out whether there's something strong at this table or not?
I feel I'm ill-equipped.
What, you ain't got no arms?
We'll go for it.
There we go. So,
boy.
D20 rolling under your strength value. My strength is 17.
Wow.
Mine's 12.
You go in here.
Yoked.
I gotta roll under?
You're rolling under the 12.
Okay.
I'm trying to roll under the 17. And the amount of difference is what matters.
I got an 18.
Oh dear.
So you went over. So,
She puts you down.
yeah, and okay, so the difference is number of clicks. There's 4 clicks to down.
Yeah.
So, I've got a 13, which means I'm 4 under. So that puts you. It's like ready, go. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't right. Let's do this again. Let's do this right. Let's just.
I kind of just let
That
her
was a
have
bad
it.
start. There's a bad start.
5. 7 under.
Ooh,
Ooh.
5.
No.
12 under.
You're 12 under?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Boom. Oh. All right.
I just can't seem to best you. You've got me outgunned.
That's okay. It's okay. Have a drink.
Oh, outgunned, I like that.
Go ahead and have a drink.
Can I walk up with the
Yeah.
2 beers? All right, put his beer down in front of him. Man, you're getting destroyed over here. I seen from across the bar.
You know what? I think that you
Hey.
should try. She is definitely worth the attempt.
Pull out my skeleton arm. Mage. Well, bring it out.
Oh, man.
Nothing like testing your worth.
11.
You have a 9.
9, 2 over.
That's okay. She rolled an 18, 1 over. So she's only got you over 1 click. So it's like,
I don't know what you
Part
call
2.
so hard. Nat 20.
11.
boom!
Conk. Wow.
Just wanted you to feel like you're doing well.
I don't know what you think is so.
I'm just paranoid that she does it with such force he does a flip.
I guess that would have been like a nat 1, yeah.
No, that's if she got in that one.
Yeah, oh, man, that's great.
Well, I still understand now, Kern. I'm sorry I doubted you.
No worries, no worries.
So, yeah.
Ah.
Ah.
Ooh. All right, well,
I'm playing it up. I'm trying to make her feel good about it.
Yeah.
Hey, the reason we're here is actually, I believe.
Well, we
found
came here to get loaded.
That's true. Should we do that first?
Drink!
Or-
Drink!
Drink! But before we get too hammered, I won't remember why we're here. Didn't we bring something that we think
Yes.
they might know about?
Yes, but it's not a hammer.
It's not a hammer.
No, it's some runes.
You're right. They know about hammers and runes, though, so
Yes.
maybe they can help.
Well, you got a hammer with runes on it?
No hammers, just some runes.
Runes only. This.
But perhaps you can illuminate us as to.
I'll let you know if we find a hammer with runes, though.
We have been assured that they are dwarven in origin, and we thought that you would be the best one to come to.
Well, the first thing I noticed is that the runes across that say Salt Heart Foam Follower.
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
Salt Heart Foam Follower.
You ever heard that before?
Yeah, are you kidding? Legendary.
What do you
Greatest dwarvish sailor ever.
No kidding. I didn't know there were any famous dwarves.
Sailors.
Well, see, that's the reason why you guys are always the second choice when it comes
Fair. Yeah, that was prejudice of me. I didn't realize until I said
Yeah,
it.
nice.
Please continue.
It's okay.
Saltart foam follower.
That's right. He was a giant among the dwarves, if you will.
So he was like 5 foot.
No, metaphorically. Metaphorically.
Ah.
He was a pillar of his community.
Well, no, he was actually one of the first Grimm to leave the mountains.
Ah.
Fascinating.
Yes, he abandoned the Everdark for the Undersky.
I
Good
see.
for him. I like that.
And legend has it his weapon was a dagger.
Why would you say that? This etching looks like it came from a cutlass.
This etching? Did you do a rubbing or did you?
Did a rubbing.
Oh, okay.
I thought he tried to hand trace it.
Now you rubbed it.
It'd be easier just to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
do
you
the-
have so
my
it's
bad.
gonna
Do
be.
the motion.
So yes, we're trying to hide the fact that it's a cutlass with the depletion of the cutlass. We might as well have brought the weapon.
Whoa.
Retcon.
I'm like,
No, the fact, like I said,
I'm
the
not
fact is
there.
the fact was that he did the action of actually.
You
rubbing.
saw
Yeah.
him rubbing his sword.
no.
What he does in the privacy of his room.
He's like, don't tell him it's a sword. I found the parchment.
So yes, this came into our hands in a recent voyage. We could not decipher it.
Voyage, you were here 2 days ago. How far could you gotten in 2 days?
Farther than I've ever been.
Third base.
And I don't even know Brandy. Okay. What a good wife she would be, too.
Good wife you be.
So
Get him married.
That
Always better.
So foam follower. He had a cutlass.
Yeah.
Anything in particular about his feats that he has performed? We don't know many dwarven pirate tales.
Well, he wasn't a pirate. Most people misunderstand. He was a freebooter.
A freebooter?
Mhm.
Ah, yes, yes.
And the difference is a nuance that you surface dwellers don't always get right. The idea is that he only answered to the higher calling of his mission and did what he could to bring back the relics that were stolen from us.
I see.
Principled man.
Hero
I
of the
appreciate
people.
it. Yeah. And how did this foam follower meet his end? Is there any information?
Well, it's really funny. He was still plying the seas until the Revening.
Until the revenue.
Ooh, wonderful.
Very interesting.
But what became of him?
Rumors are that he and his vessel still ply the seas, and that you could occasionally. That he's been sighted. His vessel's been sighted out on the waters.
His vessel.
Yes, he sailed into the black waters and never returned.
And what was the name of his vessel?
Worldbreaker.
Worldbreaker? And was this some grand galleon or something with multiple cannons aboard? Some great war machine?
Cannon. This is before the era of the age of cannon. To now is before the age of cannon. There are today, but no, it wasn't a traditional vessel. It was an airship.
An airship.
Oh,
What's an airship?
It was a dreadnought.
My God.
This guy he rode the sea of the air.
That's mighty interesting. That'd be pretty. It piqued my interest. Now, how would a sky ship operate?
Well, there's quite a few different ones. The most, I guess you'd say, the globally most famous are the ones that the Primus sailed when they abandoned Nycos long ago for the skies. Those were the kites, and the kites were basically 300 yards long
Nice.
and 100 yards wide, and were made of living wood.
Living wood.
That the wood actually self-propagated, and that those that were the artists that flew it were minstrels. That it flew by musical magic.
Sounds like a good party.
They sang shanties while they attacked.
The orc fleets greatest of the airships from the orcish standpoint, are monstrous gliders, but they don't last very long. They have the longest duration of a rook flight was something like 7 days. Because once they lose lift off of the heat coming off of the continent, they start to plummet. Most of them to great and horrible destruction.
Goodness, doesn't seem
So
like
the
it.
rook didn't stay in the airship business very long.
Short and brilliant life. I understand.
Their idea was basically build really good gliders and build them really high up in the mountain and then fly them off and then stay airborne as long as you could.
Just leave all your money right here.
Yeah.
Put it up on the way back. And this is mine.
Whereas the Grimm were the first ones to actually access the power of the black powder, and so their vessels are basically engines.
So they can maintain their flight.
They basically energize whatever this black powder is with some kind of magical energy which gives it lift. They encase it in large containers, canisters, also known as casks, and the casks are what give them lift. Some of them are as simple as 3 casks tied together with a propeller-driven, basically bicycle chain-driven propeller. That's the lowest. And in those cases, you actually fill your casks up once, and they can stay pressurized for some period of time. You can pedal around, and that's the lowest level, all the way up to the mammoth, like the dreadnought of Salthard, foam follower.
Bernie's viciously taking notes about all this, and he's like kind of nodding back down in his notes, looking up. All right. And this black powder, does it have any kind of other properties besides the enchanted lift? Is it explosive? Is it dangerous?
Well, let's put it this way: we've been working with it for a really long time,
Sure.
and those are trade secrets.
I understand. You want to keep it close to the chest. Absolutely.
Are you making some kind of comment because I'm female, but I still have a beard?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'm only sexist behind people's backs.
Okay, at least you're an honest man. At least you're an honest man.
Yeah. Just gotta wonder if it has any reactions with the yellow powder.
I think I still have that bag.
You do. But the black powder's gone.
I'll go ahead and take out that yellow bag and I'll say, can you tell me more what this is?
Picks it up. You can just throw it away, but if you want to I don't want to cause any kind of inconvenience. I'll give you a couple copper pieces for it.
Interesting offer, but I'd like to know more about it if you have any information.
It's like I said, it's a byproduct of some gnome meddling.
No meddling.
Yeah.
Are they trying to interfere with the black powder?
No, they're trying to find a different equation. They're looking for a material known as what's the term? Wormwood.
Hmm.
I'll hold on to it just the same if you don't mind. I know it
Keep
can't be
yourself.
that valuable to you.
As I said, I would throw it away. Not really waste your time.
You
Hasn't
never
worked
know.
hasn't worked yet for the gnomes. So.
You never know. Sometimes it's just the breakthrough's right around the corner.
So we've been here for quite some time, getting a little hammered.
Oh, I'm so drunk.
So, what'll it cost me to get the cutlass from you?
Well, this rubbing isn't mine. It came from someone else.
Of course it did.
But did by any chance that story, legend, have any mention of whether or not the cutlass was enchanted in nature?
Well, it was foam follower carried it to the world's edge, and it said that it's because he could not follow through on his oath that the storms of World's Edge began.
I see. Tragic.
Poetic end.
I finished my drink.
I will as well.
100 gold pieces for it.
If I can find it, then perhaps that's depending on the trouble for it.
Sure,
that
where are
may-
you staying in town?
Very generous offer.
What do you mean? Where am I staying?
Yeah, I'd like to send a care package from the dwarves for your kindness.
Yeah, they'll know where
At the
house is.
Withany bathhouse.
Black powder.
It's a mighty interest you have, 100 gold pieces worth. What's so valuable about this sword?
It's legendary.
It's legendary. It belongs to my people.
It's an
Nothing
artifact.
outside of
It belongs in a museum.
No, besides the reputation, I mean, is there any kind of magical quality to the sword that might make it valuable?
I wouldn't know. I've never handled the damn thing. I just know that emblem, the sign you just showed me, indicates that you have the cutlass of my ancestor.
No, we don't have it, no. If we had it, we would give it to you. So and respect your family. Tradition.
Go ahead and make your deception check.
Dang it.
You kept talking. That was the problem.
Hey, 18.
18. Deception's charisma plus 0.
Yeah, that's about right for Bernie.
And I got an 18 with a
Eight.
+1.
Ooh, I'm not lying, I swear. I promise you, I'm not
Yeah,
lying.
yeah.
Insight.
That's fine. That's fine. You stay at the Withany then too.
The Withany bathhouse?
On occasion.
Hey.
You already know I'm a liar.
I just gave away where you might stash the damn blade.
No. We already saw the guy with it leave. We have no clue where he brought it. We don't even know if he's going to be found.
And you weren't listening.
Exactly.
That's really funny.
Kirk never listens.
All right. So you were going back down to the docks.
Yes.
Perfect.
I'll pretty much
Nailed it.
find the boat,
Mm-hmm.
It's a one.
knock on this cabin.
It's all falling.
Yeah. What's up?
Yes.
Hey,
Oh,
Captain.
It's all coming
Yeah. What are you doing? How are the boys?
Kronk.
They're good. They're by the. I believe they're at the tavern with the dwarves.
Oh God. Hope they're safe.
I think they'll be fine.
What can I do for you?
Sir, I was wondering. Do you know anybody who I can talk to hire some swords? Mercenaries.
Mercenaries?
Is there?
Sure. You could. The nation of Myrmidon is based on that entire premise, and there's Myrmadi sell swords in just about every port. So you run to the capital and find them there. You run around the corner to what's Windswept is the other town down south of us. Yeah, Windswept, and of course you could go up to Bylon, and Bylon you probably get them by the bulk because Balani and the Myrmadi have treaties. Most of the Balani military force is actually Myrmads in the Bylani coats of honor. What you need soldiers for?
Oh. I feel less secure in this town recently.
Well, what caused that problem? I mean, we've had trouble with the royals forever.
Well, maybe we could change that.
Well, you want to step up the operation? I can get you a seat on the Scarlet Brotherhood.
The Scarlet Brotherhood. I've heard of them.
Yeah, they want to return to the old ways.
How would our friends, the Seven Princes, feel about that?
At one point, they were known as the Eight Princes.
Hint.
Oh, they should have power anyway.
I see. The mercenaries, how much would they charge for?
I've never hired mercs, so I wouldn't have an idea of what their numbers are. You figure it's going to be something like 1,000 loaves of bread a month or more. I'm just being silly with
Yeah.
the bread equation numbers.
10 silver.
Okay.
Per soldier.
Actually, no,
And
5
that's
silver,
and
'cause
that's
5 silver.
and that's for non-combat action. So that's just show of force numbers. 10 times that for combat.
I see.
Oh, you hired us to just kind of stand around and look good.
That's what
No, I could just imagine. Go on, fight them. No, you hired us to stand around and look good. I'll throw some money your way. Okay.
Hold on, you can't afford us for that. Hold on.
that's the historicity of. I mean, when I worked for a certain trading card game company, we would. Yeah, exactly. We would hire off-duty police officers to come to our events in their uniform for just that purpose. They were not.
It actually keeps down the
Well,
problem.
and they're not. When they do that, they're not licensed to actually get into any action. They can't.
No, you just need
Engage.
some boys in blue up there. You're gonna keep the peace.
That's it.
Because people think they are.
So in this case, we're talking about boys in blue.
Yeah,
They're protective forces.
Just need a little bit of a front, a little bit of a protective
Yeah.
facade.
So, Bylon and Myrmidon, you found, are both blue nations. Basically, they use the colors of blue and they protect. But they are sellswords, so you have to be careful when you hire them that you pay them really well, because
Mhm.
odds are they could actually get bought out.
Change the lines.
How much? How much time can I take there? I was wondering about how long will it be before the amount of wounded coming in slows down?
It's within the day.
Okay,
Yeah, it was just a skirmish.
okay. So when she has helped those that she
Sure.
can, so
I was dealing with him. I'll come back to you.
Oh,
in a
I'm
second.
sorry.
That's okay. Just wanted to make sure I get whatever information you need. Anything
Yeah.
else?
No, I think that's probably the Scarlet Brotherhood. How would I? Do you suggest we contact or I contact them? Is it-
Let me put a word in first. The old Solani Empire. There's still a few people who are rather paranoid because the king is actively hunting them out of existence.
I see.
So if you want to join the Brotherhood, I have to make sure that they're not.
Well, not join, but talk to.
In that case, it's even be more specious because they're
Mm.
pretty concerned with anybody setting up any kind of a meeting for fear that it's an attempt to take them into custody because they are still wanted for their
If
revolt.
not,
Let's see what we can do. All right. So now back to you. You're
yeah, it's just until the last of those that are in imminent danger are
Right.
stabilized,
right.
and then she'll clean up.
Yeah.
Asking that.
It's about an hour after sunset when you're done.
Okay. She's not exactly sure whether she should go down to that place where they
Oh,
were going.
We're at time anyway, guys. So
Oh, I was
Okay.
gonna go to the restroom.
just can we just take 2 seconds and we'll wrap up this section. Thank you guys for your participation.
Yep.
And we know where we are. We're back in town and trying to figure out what your plan is for the next. Whether you're gonna go north on your mission or back to explore the house further. So
Did it, guys. We got drunk. We got swords. We got
everybody, this is because you did get the information from the house. You did benchmark, so everybody levels up.
Hells yeah.
Thank you again for your
Level
participation.
3.
Thanks for our viewers for watching. Make sure you catch us in the next episode. Everybody wave bye bye.